Now that the blood hunt has ended, Miles Morales will be forced to live with the fallout as he remains a vampire. What will happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 23 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the newest issue, we're actually treated to a fun and interesting shift in focus as our internal monologue is actually handled by Tiana Toombs, aka Starling, for a change. Tiana talks about her life and how it's unfortunately been hallmarked by the theme of abandonment, a deadbeat dad, a sick mom, and a supervillain grandfather on which she modeled her own super persona. Ziegler also works in a nice little bird allegory here, saying how she is basically a bird without a flock. The one bright light, though, she says, is actually her relationship with Miles, who she loves very much. Can I just say how nice and refreshing it is in this era of Marvel Comics when it feels like every young couple gets broken up as to try and inflate the drama? Here, Miles and Tiana are just together, they get along, and no one has to try to overthink it or try and fix what's not broken. Well, except for maybe over in that Amazing Spider-Men book where it seemed like Greg Weisman was more interested in exploring Miles and Kamala as a potential couple, but I'm way behind on that book, so I'm in no position to talk. Now, how is Miles doing while all of this is going on? Well, he's dealing with a brand new foe calling himself Zip Zephyr. This guy claims to be descended from the Greek god of wind, and he uses his magic bag of air called Sacatus to commit a massive crime spree. Damn, man, and suddenly Frost Pharaoh looks like the goddamn Green Goblin next to this guy. Seriously, what is it up with dudes obsessed with ancient pantheons who have it out for Miles as Spider-Man? At first, fighting this guy is perfectly normal for Miles, but then things slowly start to change. As the longer the battle goes on, the more uncharacteristically vicious Miles becomes. In fact, it freaks Spider-Man out enough he decides to make an appointment with Doc Samson to try and understand what's wrong with him right now, and the answer is honestly pretty damn crazy. As Samson tries to explain, Miles was able to cheat the whole vampire lust thing thanks to a spell cast by Doctor Strange back when he was still Sorcerer Supreme, but now he's not anymore, and as such the spell has begun to weaken and degrade. That means as a result, Miles' vampire bloodlust is not only back with a vengeance, but it's also beginning to leech off his own bioelectricity. In layman's terms, this means the more Miles uses his amazing powers, the more likely he is to go full vampire and hurt himself or someone else. Doc Samson even theorizes that if he pushes it too far, there's a good chance he could actually kill himself by accident. By far the worst part of this revelation, though, is that no one actually has any answers on how to fix the problem or help Miles, but in a fun development, Doc Samson decides to dispatch his niece Quan, the woman who's actually been running Miles' psychotherapy day to day, to New York in order to keep an eye on him until they can actually come up with a plan. It's after that, on his way home, Miles ends up stopping a mugging. Again, regular everyday stuff for a Spider-Man, but again, he goes too far and absolutely brutalizes these poor thugs to the point he ends up terrifying the woman they were trying to steal from. Needless to say, this recent unfortunate turn of events has really thrown Miles for a loop. He hopes to call Tiana for someone to confide in. Little does he know that while all of this is going on, his girlfriend is dealing with a world of problems all her own. You see, when Starling was making dinner, her Bluetooth speaker ended up getting hijacked by someone or something, clearly trying to send her a message. Now, a regular girl might have run for the hills, but Tiana, well, she's just built different. She gets herself strapped and decides to go and investigate. Only here's the thing, it's not some sort of stalker or even just a burglar. Oh no, as the comic comes to an end, poor Tiana is forced to come face to face with her grandfather, Adrian Toombs the Vulture, blowing back into her life once again, and you know that can't be a good thing as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 23, everybody, and I gotta say, for what it's worth, I'm really enjoying what Cody Ziegler is doing here. Thankfully, this series is out of tie-ins, and it looks like the book is finally ready to refocus and buckle down on what it was doing before. Once again, Miles' mental state really seems to take center stage, to where now even his therapist is looking to become a much more active supporting character. And speaking of supporting characters, I'm really enjoying getting to see Starling have more skin in the game. She's just been quietly really good in the background of the Miles book for multiple runs now, and it's cool that it looks like she's finally getting a focus piece herself. Again, I wasn't too sure about leaving Miles as a vampire post the events of Blood Hunt, but leave it to this series to actually have some pretty fun ideas to try and explore when it comes to Miles. What happens when this nice kid can't control his anger? What happens when he starts scaring the populace as much as he scares criminals? And what on earth are they going to actually do to get him out of this situation? I don't know, but I'm certainly invested to see where it goes from here. Overall, I would give this issue a very positive 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quests. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.